First up are the higher degree polynomials which can be factored. So it's these two examples in this video. So over here, well, first off, it says find all real and imaginary solutions. Actually, I may make this video just this example and this example. Actually, just decided. Yep, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make it into two smaller videos so I don't melt your mind. But first one, 3x cubed minus 1200x squared minus 2x plus 800 equals 0. So far, we're on the right track because we are equal to 0. We love, love, love when equations are equal to 0. Let me tell you. The technique, if you have 4 terms, my go-to technique is, is to factor by grouping. And remember, the old math dudes back in the day called it like they saw it. So this is a technique that we are going to factor by grouping. We're going to put this string of terms, expressions, into groups and then factor. So what we're going to do first is we're going to group it into the front two, and we're going to group it as the last two. So the name of the game is look and see, what do 3x cubed minus 1200x have in common? Well, a 3 and an x squared. So now what's remaining in there is an x minus 400. Now we're going to look at the next two, the back two expressions. Negative 2x plus 800. The name of the game here is that I need x minus 400 to be there so that it becomes a standard factor in the next line. Okay, so it's not like everything I can pull out. It's rather kind of a backwards question of I got this the first time, I have to get the same thing the second time. So what do I pull out from these back two so that that occurs? So looking at negative 2x plus 800, I have, or what can I factor out to get x minus 400? So the answer would be a negative 2. So notice if I factor out a negative 2, I am left with x minus 400. Now, looking at this line, both terms, because now here's an expression, right? Here's a term minus a term. What do these two terms now, specifically on purpose, have in common? X minus 400. So we factor out the x minus 400 so that we now have x minus 400 times 3x squared minus 2 equaling 0. And now we are back to the zero product principle because we have an a term and a b term equaling 0. A times b equals 0. Zero product principle. Cool, right? So again, this is called factor by grouping or factoring by grouping. Okay, so again, that's how it's done. You want your first two terms, your last two terms. You need in your next line, you need these two to be the same so that you can factor them out. And then your leftovers are what you pulled out. So these are the remaining. So now, zero product principle says you set both of these factors equal to 0 and solve. So on the left, super easy, right? Just add 400. On the right, we're just going to unravel until we have x equals, right? That means we've solved for x. So I'm going to add the 2, divide the 3, square root both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus. And then that's it. Ta-da! So we've got 400, root 2/3, and then negative root 2/3. Here we go. One really cool thing that I want you to look at is this. Remember, I touched on it a little bit. What do you think we call the degree of this term or this equation? This is degree 3. Remember, the degree is the highest exponent present, or the highest exponent of a variable, at least. Let me put it that way. So this is degree 3, and look, how many answers did we get? 3. I'm quite curious. But we'll talk about that more later.